So the 2030 agenda is in full effect, an all-inclusive society for everybody, where everybody will be able to feel comfortable and live their lives the way that they see it, in peace and prosperity. That's part of one of the agendas for the 2030 agenda. Well, with that being said, the LGBT community is out in the forefront. They're no longer in the shadows, hiding in the shadows. The masks are off, and they're out dancing, prancing, and living their lives. And one of the groups from the LGBT community is the trans people. And you have these trans women and these trans men, and you have these men who identify as women, right? And say that they want to go into the women's bathroom because they are women. And you have to call them women. And if you don't call them women, you could be in trouble. You can lose your livelihood. You can lose everything. Well, there was a situation going on in Gold's Gym where a man who identifies as a woman went into the locker room, and this woman took umbrage with this and was upset. She claims that he was in there, Biscuit was out hanging all over the place, knocking people over, and she was upset about it, right? She says she feels uncomfortable that this man is in there, booty ball naked, and the women, and she's in there trying to get herself together, and she got to turn around and see this man, right? So she went off. Now, mind you, when she went off, her membership was terminated. She was kicked out. She was kicked out of the gym, and she went and let everybody know about why she was kicked out. Check it out.
Are you?
Did you tell me or not that women like to see?
I'm asking you a question.
Exactly. Get out of the way now. No. Now he knows how to be a man, right? Now he knows how to be a man. Stay out of the women's locker room. We don't want it. He needs to have his gym membership revoked for that shit. And the woman told you. He assaulted me. The girl told already. We already filed reports. No.
That's fine. I want the video.
You can't get rid of me for this. I'm a woman and I have every right to not want a man in the restroom when I'm naked. There are girls naked in there. Look at them walking in there like it's okay. It's not okay.
I understand.
I'm not causing. Gold's Gym. Men. Grown men with big in the women's locker room. And that's why I'm getting kicked out. And I want to make sure the girls know. Everybody saw that man in the locker room. No one's saying shit. And I'm done with it. It's stupid. It's dangerous. Me naked in front of a man without my permission. But I ain't the one who gets kicked out the gym, y'all. I'm terminated for not wanting men in the locker room.
Now, I believe that woman was victimized. She was in the bathroom, unclothed, where she had to look to her left and see a man with his Johnson swinging in the bathroom with women. Now, he identifies as so I can, if I want to identify as a I don't know, maybe a stockbroker or somebody, $1 billion stockbroker, and put on a suit and a card. They should let me in when I go up to New York and the stock exchange and let me in there and do my thing because I identify as that. So this man is identifying as a woman. He's in there naked. The woman is upset, obviously frightened and feels victimized. She goes ballistic, right? To the point where I seen another man step to the man as well and basically tell me, get out of here. They terminated both their gym memberships, right? So the woman, she took to social media to explain her position because it just seems like, to me, like at some point, the people that's legislating laws in Congress and Senate, who stands up and says, hey, okay, this is a little too far. I understand gay rights. I'm for gay rights, right? But when you start impeding on the rights of a natural woman because you want to identify as something, that's something totally different from gay rights. That's weird sicko stuff, and this is the stuff that people that's not gay was talking about. Because now how far does it go? So you have a biological natural woman who feels violated because you have men in the locker room because he identifies as a woman and nobody says anything. It's just a go. Right, but check this out.
I just had the worst experience ever at the gym, at Gold's Gym, and I think this is probably happening at gyms across America. We're like trans women are going into the women's locker room and not really caring about how women feel about it. And it's really hurtful, yo. Like, how you gonna say you want to be a woman or that you are a woman, but you don't give a how women feel? Today I was naked in the locker room. I turn around and there's a man there in boy clothes, lip gloss, standing there looking at me. I'm butt naked. So the first thing I think is maybe there's a worker in here. Maybe I missed a sign. I say the word sir to say, sir, what are you doing in here? He goes, don't talk to me. I'm a woman. I have a right to be in here. Immediately, I'm pissed because I'm butt naked. I feel violated. I feel like weird. Like, I don't want to deal with this, right? So the girls are walking in and they're seeing the commotion and they actually chime in and say, yo, I don't know why he's in here. He's not supposed to be in here. And then I talk to the people that work at Gold's Gym and they don't really have anything to do. They just like, oh, we can file a report about it, incident report. What the is going on? Like, listen, how can you say you're a woman or you want to be a woman and you don't care how women feel? That's nothing more manly than not giving a fuck about how women feel, I'd like to think. And I get it, like, everybody has their own things, and I don't want to say that I know everything about gay rights or trans rights. I'm a lesbian. I've been a lesbian my whole life. I treat people how I want to be treated regardless of whatever their sexual orientation is or whatever they decide. So I'm not transphobic and I'm not homophobic. I'm not straightphobic. I'm not racist. None of these things. I just believe in treating people how I want to be treated. Why do you guys think it's okay for men to be in the women's restroom? And like, when is the cutoff point? Is it like, oh, you cut off your penis, you can come in here? Why aren't women making the laws? And if you really want to be safe and feel good, why don't we just make trans restrooms?
Now, the ironic thing about this whole thing is this woman that's speaking is a lesbian. She's part of the LGBTQ community. And she has every right to feel the way she feels. Now, this is not me saying it, me, a straight man or a straight woman. This woman is a part of that community. And she has a problem with a trans person in the bathroom with her. Because at the end of the day, no matter what that person wants to identify as, it's still a man. Right? Now, this woman is a lesbian. She identifies as a woman, as a lesbian. She's a proud lesbian, and listen, like I said, I'm not homophobic. She has every right to be a lesbian if she wants to be, right? But she has a problem with a man cosplaying as a woman, saying that he identifies as a woman to come into the locker room to make her feel uncomfortable. Well, this trans person did an interview with TMZ, and they seem like to think that it was funny, right? Check this out.
Well, joining us now is one of the people that Tish says she confronted in the locker room. Her name is Alexis Black, and she's joining us now. Alexis, welcome to TMZ Live.
Hi.
Hey, Alexis. So we spoke with Tish, and she said when she came face to face with you, it was obvious to her you were a man. So, you know, I don't want to get terribly graphic here, but can you kind of explain, you know, how you appeared? You know, do you believe that she was reading something in that you didn't appear to be male? She perceived you to be such.
Well, first, I told the people that raised me that this is the way that I was when I was 8 years old, and really I stuffed it down pretty deep, and I began using hormones this year in February, and I actually relinquished that information to her about, you know, name change, and it says female on my ID, and hormones, and I mean, I'm registered as a female with the gym, so.
And were you at that moment, because she told us about a couple of different encounters, were you fully clothed at that moment?
Well, she has become aggressive with me on 4 different occasions, actually at different locations in Los Angeles at Gold's Gym. But fully clothed. I believe I was enrobed in a towel on one occasion, and this last time I was clothed the entire time. Yeah.
So they asked what this person, were they unclothed, right? And he said that the first time he was in the robe, the second time he was enclosed. Now, we know that that's a lie because the woman was saying that you were standing there naked, letting it all hang out, right? Knocking people over and stuff. She out in the hallway screaming bloody murder, and she's upset, and you're out there laughing like it's a joke. So now TMZ, they came and they start asking questions and pressing you on this situation. You said this.
Now, again, I apologize if this is too graphic, but I just think it's important. Have you?
Let's speak truth, baby.
Okay. Have you fully transitioned?
Be clearer when you say that.
Your genitalia.
That is a process that requires a quite lengthy work. Like, for instance,
Now, he was asked a specific question. Did he, get the clip, get snipped? Did he, go through the process to get his, such and such removed? And he go all around and just don't answer the question. They never answer a question directly because he knows what that woman was saying was the truth. That's the crazy part. He knows this. But check it out.
I sat in a chair and had hair follicles removed from my face for 2 hours yesterday in a process called electrolysis. In order to have that surgery down there, one must have every single hair done that. In order to do that, it would take we'll just say a year or two to have that done. That's literally not even a possibility with where I am in my transition.
So look, from her perspective, I'm just wondering if you see her perspective. She's saying that she's looking at you, say, in a towel, and you still have male genitalia, and you may be transitioning, but could you understand her being uncomfortable?
Well, I certainly do not understand it, but I do get the notion of the fear mongering that she's perpetuating. The truth in the moment is far from what she is purporting it to be. Literally every time that she's done that, I've had women in the locker room comforting me because of how aggressive she was towards me.
So she was saying, why don't they have a third bathroom? Especially the gym you're talking about at the Beverly Center. That's been recently built. They had a layout that they could have adjusted, and they could have put a third locker room in. Do you think that would have been appropriate, or do you feel like you are as entitled to use the women's locker room just as Tish is?
That's a great question. I'm glad that she said it, that you have put it on the air. And the answer is that would necessitate two different ones, because some people trans MTF, some people go FTM. And so that's two rooms right there. You're not going to put a trans woman with a trans man just because we're trans. That seems like a new envelope of discrimination. But
Now, a lot of times, all you got to do is let them talk. So you don't want the trans man and the trans woman in the bathroom together because that's an envelope of discrimination and it makes you uncomfortable, right? But you're willing to make these women uncomfortable because you identify as something, right? Mind you, remember, the woman is a lesbian. Listen, family, we're going into this 2030 and we're going into a different world. In the world we're going into now, the way that we was raised up and conditioned to see life in the world is being done, obliterated. This is a new way, this all-inclusive society, and this is the thing for the American people out there. It's up to you. We can have an all-inclusive society. Trans people are in the society. But you guys have to stand up and have a voice and say, listen, you can be in society, but you have to have your own accommodations. You have to have your own thing, right? You can't take away from a real woman or make people uncomfortable, right? But then you don't want to be uncomfortable because as a man transitioning into a woman don't want to be in the same bathrooms with a trans man, something like that. It's just all crazy to me, right? Now, I just believe that they should have their own rooms. They should have their own rooms. And this person put his foot in his mouth at the end when he said that, because they don't want to be made uncomfortable in the rooms together, but you want to go in a room with a woman. And then he said, I don't care how that woman feel. I feel like I was discriminated against. And I had women comforting me. But let me say this too to a lot of women. A lot of you women out there that don't like this, well, this is what you supported. You supported this. And a lot of these people was never your friends or on your side. They don't care nothing about your rights. They care about their rights and what they want to identify as and what's right for them. They don't care nothing about you. So I hope that y'all can learn from this. I'm not saying that you can't care for human beings, but you got to make sure that you don't lose your rights in the process of certain things. Listen, man, this thing, it's going to get worse before it get better. So let me know what y'all think about this, man. If you made it this far in the video, hit that like button. Subscribe to Street Media TV. Leave your comments in the comment section. Let me know what you guys think. Remember, I love y'all. Till the next time. Peace.